Sorry.
So you lose 2.5 minutes.
I know.
Okay, the next candidate.
I have to say after for detention.
We move on to the next candidate now.
In talking, the question was about Chesapeake County schools and the incarceration rate in Chesapeake County schools. I have a little different perspective because I have been a substitute teacher and I volunteer in the schools. And I'm not sure if any of you in this audience knows that when your child walks into the schools, you basically lose your rights. So if your child is disciplined, the school does not have to call you and let you know that your child is disciplined. And if your child writes a statement, the police officer can come and ask your child to change your statement based on the information that they've received. They can use that information then in court, and the parent is not notified at all. That to me is wrong. When the Constitution was made, we did not have police in our schools. So when we're talking about Chesterfield, yes, Chesterfield incarcerates more children at a much higher rate, and especially in the Dale District. The Dale District is suffering, and it's primarily comprised of Hispanics and African American children. So when I was growing up and I got in trouble, the administrators would call my dad. They didn't call the police, they called my dad. They called my dad, which was scarier than any police officer that they called my dad. And now, the way that our schools are set up, the police are in the schools and they call the police. So for a simple infraction of someone raising their voice to a teacher, which I'm not saying these things are wrong, but the way they're handled now is, to me, not correct, because we're putting more children in jail. And that's where we have to stop. One, we can change the Constitution that says that when you walk into a school, you lose your rights. And two, the school should be responsible for calling parents and letting the parents know that their children are involved in a fight or has done something to a teacher. That's where the breakdown is. So instead of calling a parent and calling an administrator, we're calling the police. That's a problem. So when we're talking about Chesapeake County schools, there is a huge problem in terms of how we are incarcerating children, but the breakdown is how we deal with children who get in trouble in school, get into altercations, and then how the police handle it. If my child is have a problem, which I dealt with a child that was living in my home that was not mine, she didn't have a place to live, I could let her come live with me, she was involved in a fight, and the police was called. The mother wasn't called, I wasn't called, and the statement that she wrote in court, with the administrator, that was changed 6 times, was used in court against her. We have got to stop. We have to start allowing administrators to be the person who deals with problems instead of the police. And as your state legislator, I will move to have our Constitution amended. I'm sorry, I ran over.